drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink. Now, grab your glass and grab some water. Get your pitcher of that water. Lift that pitcher of that water. Simply pour your water. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Family, move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, move, then drink. Shouts out to Miss Tiandra. Now take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. But remember the 4 pillars, family. Remember, breathe, drink, eat, move. Hey, take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Man, I missed the whole verse. I didn't even know it. But obviously, according to the music, I missed the whole verse. So let me go back in my mind, think blah, blah, blah. I don't remember missing the verse. But hey, the music is counting time, and the numbers is, I guess those numbers is never wrong. Man, oh man, I want to say great, great Ujima to each and every last one of you. Now, first off, I need to welcome you to the Congregation of the Mighty. This is the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim, and this is a Daily Toast. And of course, you know this is a Heart of December production. We strive to blow up your old paradigms. Alright, so family, alright, let's take it from the top. So, you know, of course, those of you that's with us on a daily basis, y'all know I am running extremely. I was about 45 minutes late today. And, you know, like I said, I want to send my apologies out to those that be up and ready. But the black signal is out. But tonight we have a show. And even if we don't have a show, we will be doing day 88, pulling from Gye-Nyame Journey's workbook, Tribal Quotes, compiled by Brother Hatim. We'll be going to day 88. We got 2 more days left. Wow. Wonder if we get those done before the new year. Because, I've been dragging on the late night shows. Family, like I said, I'm behind on the newsletter. I'm trying to get that together. I got a presentation during Per Ankh. Well, at least about a 5-minute. Elder Tony told me 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep it within that 5-minute space. But I'm reprising a piece on cycles that I did years ago during poetry, and just like one of the things that made it possible for us to advance was recognizing cycles and being able to take advantage of cycles. So one of the things that I want to do is look at the cycles of our people. Because I'm tasked with talking about, I think it's it's the resurrection of consciousness or something. It's close to that, but it gives me an opportunity to look at some of the old stuff that I did years ago. And I wrote a paper on it, and I gave it to somebody, and they was going to type it up, but it never got typed up. So I'm just going to go and recreate what I have, starting with 1619, working our way all the way up to here, looking at some of the cycles, because like I said, if you can kind of predict, or at least, the seasons, being able to predict the seasons made it possible for us to plant our seeds at the proper time. If we was able to plant our seeds at the proper time, they were able to get the nutrients that they need. If they was able to get the nutrients that they need, then I would be able to protect them and watch them grow. And as they grew and increased in energy and absorbed the energy from the soil, the air, the water, and the earth, you know what I'm saying? I would be able to harvest them. And if I was able to harvest them, I was able to eat them. And if I was able to eat them, I was able to store them and prepare for that long winter or dry season. And there's a cycle like that that's still popping off for our people, right? And it's like sometimes we're planting our seeds at the wrong times. Sometimes we're trying to harvest too late. Sometimes we're working too hard on the wrong things. And it's like, boom, let's check out these cycles. Let's see if they could tell us anything. I'm just throwing it out there, and I'm going to be sharing that at the Per Ankh this weekend on Imani. Also, we will be traveling up to Central State on Kaumba. I forgot I got to rearrange some stuff for that as well. Taking some young people up there to check out the mighty Central State University. One of the HBCUs that's here and that we're blessed to have in Ohio. I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to go to Wilberforce. I mean, they're really right across the street, if even across the street. But a lot of the activity is gonna be around Central State. All right, so the quotes and the proverbs that we're gonna be looking at today on day 88 would be. This one is by a guy by the name of Thomas J. Watson. Would you like me to give you a formula for success? It's quite simple, really. Double your rate of failure. You're thinking of failure as the enemy of success, but it isn't at all. You can be discouraged by failure, or you can learn from it. So go ahead and make mistakes. Make all you can, because remember, that's where you will find success. You going up there with us, Miss Deandra? Are you going to be up there? Many And this one is by Orson Sweet Martin. Many a one has succeeded only because he has failed after repeated efforts. If he had never met defeat, he would never have known any great victory. Orson Sweet Martin. And this last one is anonymous. I'm kind of shocked because usually I pull the last ones. This is the second one in a row that's anonymous yeah. It says success. Willing to do what the average person is not willing to do. So when I wrote this book, I wonder what was going on during that time. It must have been the time where I was really faced with something on that day or during that week when I was putting these together. Success, willing to do what the average person is not willing to do. We will be going to Central State this Kaumba. They are having, they have an annual thing where they invite young students out, and me and my, we're gonna be taking children from the school up there, doing our thing, So we'll be up there all day. So hope to see you, and if not, hope to see you at the Per Ankh. All right, so here we go, family. Here we go. It's time for the toast. Well, I ain't got nothing in the news right now. Excuse me. Man, I ain't got nothing in the news right now, but I had a very powerful session last night. Sat down with Brother Philip Shock Matthews. I will be doing an interview with him. I'm going to send him a request for an interview, and I got a couple other people that I want to do another interview-based show. For those that missed it, I did an interview with Brother Eddie Baird. Nice interview. I'm going to bring him back because y'all know I love me some jazz, right? Even though I can't play an instrument or hold a beat. Rodney Reed, news or no, not the same. I haven't had any news on Rodney Reed as of yet, but I need to look into that case because I seen your post. I'm gonna fill out the thing, but I want to look at what's going on first, or is it not what it seems? Let me go and look up the Rodney Reed piece. Now, Miss Tiandra is real good on the Instagram piece, and she puts up like surveys. I haven't mastered that yet. I still don't understand how she do that shit. And you could click it and move it, how you feel about it, and you move it, and so she put up something about a brother by the name of Rodney Reed. All right, so we got 13 hours ago. Oh, they got an execution that's going down in the next couple of days. Hold on here. So this is urgent. I didn't know it was like this. And he the same age as me. Death row inmate Rodney Reed remains hopeful weeks before scheduled execution. Reed, 51, was convicted of raping and killing 19-year-old Stacy Stites in April 1996. Rodney Reed seemed remarkably calm for a man possibly days away from execution. Sitting in a visiting area cell behind a thick pane of glass, Reed told NBC News that he was doing as well as to be expected. One day at a time, Reed said into a telephone receiver at the Allen B. Polinsky unit, a prison in West Livingston, Texas. You know how they do black folks in Texas, so yeah, I'm going to have to go and look at this. I'm thinking about family, thinking about my freedom, thinking about my life. Reed, 51, was convicted of raping and killing 20-year-old Stacy Stites in April 1996. Her body was found by the side of a remote road in a small town in central Texas. She was driving to an early morning work site at a grocery store some 30 miles from her home. Stites' family says he was working extra shifts to help pay for her upcoming wedding to Jimmy Fennell, a police officer. Police officer in Texas. Okay. For about a year, Stites' murder went unsolved. Reed was arrested and charged when investigators linked him to semen found in the victim's body. Reed had been under investigation for another alleged sexual assault when confronted with the DNA match. Reed says he froze and told the investigator he did not know Stites. It was the worst mistake I ever could have made, he said. I denied everything. I did not want to be incriminated, implicated, or anything in relation to her death. Reed later claimed that he and Stites had consensual intimate relationship and that he had been with her the day before she was found dead. During his trial, prosecutors dismissed that as a lie, but Reed claims he saw Stites a couple of times a week but had to keep their relationship discreet because he is a black and she is white. I knew she was seeing a cop. I knew she was seeing a cop, he said. And we're in the South, and there's still a lot of racism going on. Reed did not testify at his trial. His defense team did not call witnesses to back up what he says happened. But Reed's new lawyer with the Innocence Project has contacted several residents who they say back up Reed's claim that he and Stites were in a relationship. Hold on. Now, obviously, this brother had a public pretender, right? Had a public pretender that was speeding the case through. Hold on. This brother get off some shit about to happen in Texas because I'm already looking at suspect number one, and I'm not even a fucking detective. I'm wondering if anybody ever asked a police officer that she was gonna marry. Where was he at? What was he doing? What's his alibi? But hold on. Hold on. This is what the state's case was premised on, which is that a young black man like Rodney Reed would not be dating Stacey Stites. And every bit of evidence shows, in fact, that it is what took place, says Bryce Benjett, Reed's attorney with the Innocence Project of New York. We shouldn't be getting this close to an execution in a case like this, Benjett said. The case has been receiving national attention after celebrities including Kim Kardashian West, Rihanna, and Meek Mill called on Texas Governor Greg Abbott to stop the execution. Reed is not only maintaining his innocence, he claims that Fennell Stites, then fiance, is the real killer. Hold on. He wasn't for her. She kept telling me that, Reed said. Stites' family insists that none of that is true, and that she and Fennell were happy and weeks away from getting married. With the clocking ticking, who in the hell wrote this? With the clocking ticking down to Reed's execution, scheduled for November 20th, his defenders have produced statements from several new witnesses that Reed claims implicate Fennell. Those witnesses claim they overheard various threatening and racist statements from Fennell, suggesting he suspected Stites was having an affair with a black man. And you know that ain't what he said. I suspect she's having relations with a black man. When asked why those witnesses who apparently waited 20 years to come forward should be believed, Reed said, why would they come forward unless it's all about the truth? People have consciences. Wait, hold on. Why? Now, when we asked that same question about Bill Cosby, that didn't involve murder, right? That involved, come on now, You ask the same. But when it comes to a black man and his case, and they ask the question, well, why they just now? It's just why would they come out now? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, family, Sister Tiandra done put us onto some real shit here. Reed's legal team also has a new affidavit from an inmate who claims Fino confessed to killing Stites. All right. Fino has served 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to charges of kidnapping and improper sexual activity with a person in custody. The case involved a woman from a domestic disturbance call he responded to when he was an officer with Georgetown Police, according to the Austin Chronicles. So this motherfucker raped somebody on duty. He joins the list of incredible witnesses, but he is probably the least credible. Robert Phillips, Fino's attorney, said of the inmate, I joke, the next one's going to be Mother Teresa appearing via Epiphany. I keep waiting for the Pope to be on the list. In a statement, Stites' sister, Krista Heffley, insisted that Reed raped and murdered Stites, adding, we pray for the end to the nightmare we have had to relive over this last 23 years. Now, not to make fun of the suffering, but I want y'all to understand, right? I want y'all to understand. Now, I just got done reading a book called Man Not by Dr. Tommy Curry, who, because of this book, is no longer able to work in America. Family, when I talk to you and I tell you how powerful this book is, please understand, and please how it addresses some of this shit right here, right? He black, we white, and we say he did it. I don't care if her ex-fiance, who was a police officer, raped 3 people before, on duty, in uniform. This nigga did it. This is what they want you to believe. Right? So now the question is out, and I'm glad this case came out. Thank you, Sister Tiandra. Reed and his lawyers has also tried to get the courts to consider new analysis of forensic evidence from the crime scene. They want as many as 40 items tested with modern DNA techniques, including a murder weapon, a belt that investigators say the killer used to strangle Stites. Texas court have said no, ruling the evidence has been too contaminated this many years later. Kind of fair, but is this dude guilty without a reasonable doubt? Was his first trial, should his first trial be considered in a sense a mistrial because his lawyers didn't interview anybody? God damn. You know what I'm saying? Now, he got probably public pretenders, because we know the wealth status of black folks in America even 21 years ago. You could not, if the state is coming after you, unless you have wealth, you cannot fight them off. They're looking for a quick conviction. At the time, this was a cop's fiance. And the cop is probably crying and screaming for justice. Reed and his defense team insists the evidence will show Stites was killed at a time when Fino has said they were at home together. Reed and his defense team insists the evidence will show Stites was killed at a time when Fino has said that they were at home together. Reed now has appeals pending all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. We are talking 13 days away is his execution. More than 20 judges of various ideological backgrounds have reviewed this case and found no reversible error and no credible evidence that someone other than Mr. Reed might have been disposed toward committing this heinous crime. The Texas Attorney General Office said in a statement, David R. Dow of the University of Houston Law Center says that in Texas, which executes more inmates than any other state, which means they're killing more black men, they have more state-sanctioned killings of black men than any other place possibly in the world. State-sanctioned. The odds are not in Reed's favor. Once somebody is convicted and sentenced to death, the likelihood that the person is going to get some type of relief is less than 3% in Texas, Dow said. The odds are especially tough for African-American men like Reed. If you're black and you have a white victim, you are 4.5 times more likely to be sentenced to death in Texas, Dow said. Now, this is why, well, let me shut up. Benjet stressed the gravity of getting it right in cases involving capital punishment. If we're going to have a death penalty, if we're going to have harsh punishments in the criminal justice system, we need to make sure we get it right, Benjet said. Reed, who said he has seen many inmates walk to their execution during his nearly 22 years on death row, said he was hesitantly hopeful that something good has got to happen. I don't feel beaten down. I'm cautiously optimistic that something good has got to happen, he said. I'm a believer, I'm a believer. Now, what is, maybe Sister Tiandra can answer this. What is, the title of that book is called Man Not by Dr. Tommy Curry. Now, the piece that I would like to see is, what is Reed's, what else do they have on Reed to make them think this? Was this his first arrest? Does he have, because just so that we could look at the whole thing. And I know other people are looking into it. He got lawyers and stuff coming to bat for him. But for us, we need to still ask the question, because I know there is injustice here. You see, this is why they like lynching black men, because they never, how can I put it, they want it stopped immediately. So I find somebody, I put it on him, and it's called basically, I did a show on it a long time ago. It's a fancy word for the scapegoat syndrome, because I can alleviate my sin. I can alleviate the sin and the tension within my community by finding a scapegoat and putting all of that on the scapegoat, so that all of that tension from my guilt and everybody else's guilt can be relieved. I'll find a video, because what's them white boys' name? They did an excellent video on it. It has part one. It has. Give me a second. It'll come to me, because it's a real good science show, and they got 3 different individuals that do it. Starts off Michael here. Can't remember that. And see, and like I said, they will not allow that to be thrown in there. Very extensive. Just a little short shit that I read in there about his history. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to blame that on Reed too. After the tragedy, I was never the same. White tears, boy. White tears. You know what I'm saying? Especially white woman tears. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to throw the sister in there too. So you got to remember. So let me go back and read some of these. FreeRodneyReed.com. A police officer in Texas. Grand Rising. Shouts out to Miss Cynthia Johnson. What they're not saying is that the new DNA evidence also implicates the white and blue. I don't get that. The police officer? What? Raped at gunpoint. A white lady at that. She shared her story on Dr. Phil. He raped a white woman? Oh, man. I don't know Reed's prior history. Only Jimmy P., the cops, who had an extensive history of fuckery. Yes, they do. That's the proper use of that word. Fuckery, boy. That word come in handy. I am so glad. Let's lift up a toast for the individual that invented the word fuckery, because it definitely comes in handy in cases like this, because that is truly an extensive history of fuckery. Not only has he raped individuals, but he raped individuals in the uniform of the state. Now, family, I'm going to say this. When motherfuckers are wearing the uniform of the state and are doing heinous shit, heinous, right? Heinous. What should be done with them? You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, because we know there's good police officers. But, I kind of struggle with that, because this is the issue. How good and how courageous are you if you could allow individuals like this motherfucker to be in your ranks? He, as a police officer, probably should have never made it to trial. I'm just saying, because it makes all of y'all look bad. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this. Somebody in your department know the fuckery is going on. Y'all be rolling in twos. So a lot of shit that be happening to the police, they have witnesses. But no, they get quiet. Blue wall of silence, right? All right, but hey. Ring the fuckery alarm, yes. Fuckery alert, fuckery alert. Fuckery alert. I smell fuckery afoot in this case. Hide all the children. Bring the women inside. Brothers, barricade the door. Fuckery is afoot. Something's not right. Man, oh man. All right, so now let's go and get this toast off, because, I'm already late. Got to get these girls' clothes ironed. Mr. Cleve is now feeling at 100% today. So, I know what it is. He misses mom. That's so sweet. I thought he was going to make it at least 2 weeks. My soft-ass children. My God. So soft. All right. But anyway, we raise up our glass. We salute the Creator. By whatever name you choose to call that Creator, we raise up our glass and we salute that Creator and we say, Ashe. All right, family. We move on and we call on our ancestors that combine us as a tribe, that work with us as a tribe. And we salute. Starting off the list, we said Miles Brown, Mizan, Robert and Texas, and Davis, Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia, William, Walter, Christopher, Fanny, Gaston, Eileen, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Jenny Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman, No More X, Pet Mott, Rob Malika Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Coach Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusef Weston, Elder Algeny, Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulley, and the Luxor Brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Patrick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie Dow, Miss Marie McDowell, Jennifer Father, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Dick Ritterman, Virginia Rogers, Robert James Smith, Louis Henderson, Calvin Spradley, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melville Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clayburg, B.D. Sale Weller, Vita Farmer, Agosto Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Evelyn Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Ed Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thorne, Pearl G. Thorne, Ida Johnson, Rose M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Trisha Johnson, Erica Trisha Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, Vsauce. Excuse me. That I don't got Tourette's. That's the name of the show that did. I'm gonna find Vsauce 2. I'm gonna find the show where they talk about the science behind the scapegoat. That was one of the best YouTube episodes I have ever saw in my life. Right? Pearl G. Thornton, Nina Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Trisha Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keisha Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Gerald Giles Watson, Spells, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavina Hall, Freeman Banks, May Moss, Lafayette Peacock, Woody Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Irenia Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hannah Levester, May Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinez, Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Delma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Frankie Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dini Monez, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigella Parrish, Elder Basiji Filani, Jim Robson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFritas Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scanterbury, Wilson Headley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Ada Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Mark Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Neilon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Swen Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gatson, Jay Bradley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Chase and Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Bookie, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trash, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donnie Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Edgar Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Hare, Thelma Kate, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Esther Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Eno, Baby Hatch, Senior, Melly Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, President Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Lily Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Manny and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mae Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Hughes Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, General Dean Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Ellerton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, J.C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Browning Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Mark Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Hiram Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robert Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Anthony H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mesmin Coper, George Swan, Emmanuel Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We got Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, lovely known as Aunt Sis. We got Elder Shaka McNair. We got Anthony Brown. We got Lottie Gaucher. What is that name? Stops me every time. Jonathan Ford. And I was thinking Ford, but I want to make sure. Jonathan Ford. Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James, Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shank, Lewis, Ronald Sheldon Jr., Damian Top, Christina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Dramonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Rob Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Sermon Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott, Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gatt, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth Elaine Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Margaret III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Hales, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Deshauna Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Al Lauti, Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan, Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, Dr. Creamy Mackey, Willie R. Mackey, also Dr. Creamy, which he's also known as Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, Tillar Woods Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Andy Simpson, Jamara Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Nettie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samanda Damon, Ethel Marshall, Steve Dougie Shelton, William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Gray. We raise up our glass for all of our ancestors and we say, Ashe. Moving from our ancestors into the present moment, realizing that these moments are not ours. These moments are built upon the struggles of our ancestors who created space. Even though the space may be limited in many ways, the space was still created by their work. And we have to carry on work so that we can make sure that we create space. And we create time, in a sense, for our children to exist. This moment, when I say it's not ours, it does not mean that you get to hopefully it's a motivator to let you know that you have a responsibility to use it in a proper fashion in nation building activities, in tribe building activities, in family building activities, so that you can lay the foundation for the future generations. So right now, in this moment, right now we want to give all of our Ujima babies a round of applause. Yup. We got one Ujima baby on the TED. She just was on TEDx. So I'm waiting for her to throw it up because she usually be sneaking in here. She be laying in the background. Come on, where you at, Sister Regina? She usually be at least on these days. You know what I'm saying? So check it. If she's not out there, shouts out to her. Shouts out to all those born on Ujima. You know what I'm saying? So family, I want you to activate your reticular formations. Today we are out looking for Ujima, right? We're going to catch and release. Hashtag Ujima in action. Hashtag Ujima baby. Hashtag Ujima found. Post it up on your timeline. Post it up on Gye-Nyame Journey. Let's get it popping, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen a lot of those posts on the page. Not on the group. On the page. All right. Oh, and don't worry about how many people like it because it'll make the magazine. Don't worry about that. We got control over that. All right. Ujima. For those who don't speak the language, mean cooperative economics. The modic principle of the day is reciprocity. So how appropriate. Gratitude is the lesson from M7. Green is the color as you see by my shirt. Polarity is the Hermetic law. Male name for the day is Yah. Female name is Yah. So we raise up our glass for this present moment. We say Ashe. We're going to do all that we can in this moment to move towards, to build something, to build the space for our next generations to do. And remember, we come back through the generations, family. Don't leave no mess because you're going to have to clean it up in another life. That's that. I should throw on that fuckery alarm for that one too. So we raise up our glass for this moment. Once again, we say our shame. From there, we move to our children's children, on to infinity. We toast them in advance. Can't wait to see what they become. Right? I can't wait to see some more new ones as we create this space for them to operate in, and we expand the space that our ancestors left us. So we raise our glass for our children's children, on to infinity. From there, family, we move. And where do we go? You ready? We go to all of our relations, family. We are related to all things, and we salute all of our relations. All right? We say Ashe from all of our relations, family, that goes to that selfish toast. This is for you. What is it that you need in this moment to move towards the greater you? To move towards being the best you that you can be in this world. Raise it up and we say Ashe. Last but not least, family, I want to toast the most magnificent, the most beautiful, the most inspiring, the most uplifted individual on the planet right now, because you're rocking with the best, right? My fault. I'm rocking with the best. I'm rocking with you, right? So this is to you. I raise it up for you and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. And as we say in Gye-Nyame Cat in, if we had the show tonight, it'll be about 9 p.m. I'll try to send out a signal if we're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I try to, I'm trying, family, But, it's like, there's a lot going on. Uh-oh. Here's Miss Navita said he needs Beyond Guilt program to assist. Miss Tiandra wrote, I plan to reach out here soon to schedule a nation building session for my new team, culturally appropriate professional community development. I got you. No, yeah, I definitely got you on that one. Yep. What else? And Miss Navia said there are no good cops. There are no good cops. So family, we're gonna raise up that glass. Right? Y'all have a beautiful, marvelous and marvelous day. Right? And remember, this moment is not yours. It's my fault. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna write this in my article. This moment is an inheritance that has been passed down to you since the beginning of time, through your bloodline, through your tribe, through your family, that you have a responsibility to take care of it. And if you squander it, you leave no more moments for your future generations. So, man, once again, who running it? All of that. those Coochie Chocolate babies up in there on that chat, man. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all better claim your day. Y'all ain't claiming your days. Y'all gonna have Coochie Chocolate just take over. We might as well just call a week Coochie Chocolate week. You know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't hearing from nobody else but my Coochie Chocolate babies. Right? All right, so I'm out. Been almost a month. Not in the refrigerator. And it's just now turning. But it's still so soothing on the inside. Kind of burns after you get to that vinegar. But it's not quite there yet. Family, I'm out. Peace.